Hey Damon, how are you? This is a quick tutorial about EQ, and I'll probably divide these up into a couple of different tutorials to help you get started. But first of all, this is a mix called Can't Wait. Actually, it's just a session, it's not the actual mix. And I sent you the full mix when I sent you those files earlier today. Can't Wait is one of those files. So I wanted to show you a few things, quick and dirty tips on how to EQ vocals. So what you want to do to get started, to clean things up, is to come over to your mix window. And you want to work with these. These are called your pan knobs. And what they do is allow you to move audio from left to right. One of the keys in mixing is to allow your lead vocal to shine in the center of your mix. It should be right in the center, and other things should be panned or moved to the left and the right to create this what's called stereo image in your file or in your mix. And so what I would do to start a mix, let me just get this out of the way, is I would mix my drums first, then the bass, then keyboards or anything else. While everything else is muted, I would build my mix from kind of the bottom up, and then work on vocals last, because we want to kind of get everything out of the way so that the lead vocal, can shine and can be outstanding compared to everything else. So I'm not going to go through all those instruments, but I will go through the vocals. As we see here, we have some harmonies, and we have a lead vocal, and this is actually a overdub for a lead vocal. So the first thing I would do is I would start to pan the top, the mid, and the bottom background vocals. I'm going to get the highs, I'm going to take those probably almost halfway over, probably about 40, 45, something like that. And I'll match the mids on the other side with that. We're just really clearing them out of the way to make room for the lead vocal. So now I have, I'll come over here.
Tired, 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 tired.
Okay, now that's in the left speaker.
Tired, 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 tired.
That's in the right speaker. And
tired, 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 tired.
My lows, I want to take those off center just a bit. So I can have 3-part harmony, but they're all heard in different places. I actually move this down just a little bit because I'm going to make some room for this low.
Tired, 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 tired.
Now, as far as panning is concerned, I'll take the lead vocal now and just let that sit right in the middle.
Tired, 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 tired. I'm gonna go out and enjoy myself. I ain't gonna worry about nobody else. I'm tired, 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 tired.
Okay. So what we want to do now is we want to make that vocal shine. We want it to stand out from everything else. And we can EQ the background vocals to sound however we want. What I normally do is I try to make the background vocals sound a little bit dull so that the lead vocal can really be bright and shine in the mix. How do I do that? Well, I'll show you the lead vocal. If we go into our plugins, into our inserts, we go to plugins, we go to EQ. This is probably an EQ you have. You can use any EQ that you prefer, but I think that this comes with every version of Pro Tools. And so it's a 7-band EQ. 7-band just means all the different bands. There are 7 different bands or areas that you can control or adjust. So human voice pretty much starts to shine around 3K. I can double click and type it in there, or I can just grab this and move it to where I want it to be. You see green corresponds with green, blue with blue, blah, blah, blah. And so what I want to do is boost, say around 350, and we'll hear what that sounds like. You don't want to go too dramatic well, I'll go dramatic.
I
you hear what it sounds
so.
That's really nasally and nasty. So I want to bring that down. Now, just to keep it from getting too sharp and too out of control, we want to add some body to that. And body's really stands out around 300 hertz, so a little above for a female. Nikki, as you know, her range is incredible. She pretty much has a baritone voice. She has so much depth. She's a natural alto, but she can hit so many deep notes that I can probably keep this around 300, but any other female, I would probably boost it up a little bit more. So let's hear what that sounds like. Okay, so now what we want to do is we probably want to notch out any frequency that is giving us a problem. For example, we'll go here, and I think about 1,000 hertz. We'll boost this, and what I'm going to do is add a Q. Q is really just how narrow your boost or reduction will be, or how wide you want it to be. Does it increase the frequencies around it, or is it very narrow so that it only boosts the ones that you choose? So I'm going to play it back. I'm going to see what sounds bad. And you see I boosted this all the way up because I want to see what frequencies sound bad. And I want to end up notching those out.
I get so... Oh, I'ma go out and enjoy myself. I ain't gonna worry about nobody else.
That sounds pretty bad.
I'm so... Oh, I ain't gonna worry about nobody else. I'ma go out and enjoy myself. I get so... Oh, I'ma go out and enjoy myself. I ain't gonna worry about nobody else.
Ooh. Alright, so if you find that frequency that you really don't like, you can create a narrow notch filter and then drop it all the way out. Okay?
I get so...
And it should start to clean up your sound. The next thing that we want to do to really make your sound clean is to include a high pass filter. As we see here, HPF is a high pass filter. Make sure that this L upside down L shape is selected, and that's a high pass filter. We put it in by clicking in, and we want to boost this up to about 120 hertz. That's really, no human vocal can go below 120 hertz, and we want to increase the Q so that it cuts out all frequencies that are below 120. This should really start to clean up your mix if you do this right here for every vocal. And anything that is not supposed to have any low end.
I get so... Oh, I'ma go out and enjoy myself.
Okay, something else you can do is increase some of the air in the vocal. Okay, the air or the sibilance is up here. Anything above 6 kilohertz.
I get so... Oh, I'ma go out and enjoy myself. I ain't gonna worry about nobody else. I'm so... Oh, I ain't gonna worry about nobody else. I'ma go out and enjoy myself. I get so... I'ma go out and enjoy.
Okay, so now you can EQ your background vocals. You can make the EQ sound how you want it to sound. But I would definitely mix all your instruments first, then come to your background vocals, and then mix your lead vocal in so that everything else is set. And if you have to go back and make some adjustments, you can. But go ahead and build your mix and start to work with the EQ and just see what it does, and listen to every track that you EQ, and then listen to them all together just to see how they sound. All right, I'll do another one on compression and reverb, and hopefully your mix sounds great the next time you apply it, okay? Talk to you soon, man.